The episode 8 trailer does not begin with action, loud music, or gunfire. And that choice is not random. Instead, it opens with silence, slow movement, and characters who look more tired than angry. This is important because silence in this world usually means someone is thinking, not reacting. Episode 8 is not about chaos. It is about decisions that cannot be taken back. The trailer wants you to feel uncomfortable before anything even happens. Because the damage is already in motion, one small moment stands out more than the rest. A brief pause. A look that lasts half a second too long. No words are spoken, but the meaning is clear. Someone already knows the truth, and they are choosing not to say it yet. In the Power universe, that choice almost always leads to blood or betrayal. The trailer does not show the result, only the tension before it breaks. That is how you know episode 8 is not a filler episode. It is a setup for consequences. The pacing of the trailer also feels different from earlier episodes. The cuts are slower and scenes are allowed to breathe. This tells us the story is turning inward. Characters are no longer just fighting enemies outside. They are fighting fear, doubt, and pressure from inside their own circle. Episode 8 feels like the moment where masks start to slip. People who were confident before now look unsure. People who stayed quiet before now look ready to speak. Another detail many viewers miss is who is not shown doing anything powerful. Certain characters appear, but only in reaction shots. They listen, they watch, they wait. That is never a good sign. When a character stops acting and starts observing, it means they are planning something bigger. Episode 8 is planting seeds. And the trailer wants you focused on the wrong explosions so you miss the real threat. Forming in the background, the lighting choices also tell a story. Dark rooms, shadows across faces, and scenes that feel closed and suggest that options are running out. There is no open road anymore, no easy escape. Everyone is boxed into their position. Episode 8 is where characters realize they are trapped by choices they made earlier in the season. The trailer does not need to explain this with dialogue. The visuals do the work. By the time the trailer ends, you are left with a strange feeling. Nothing huge has happened yet, but everything feels heavier. That is the point. Episode 8 is not about shock value. It is about pressure building until something breaks. The moment everyone missed is not loud or dramatic. It is quiet, intentional, and dangerous. And once you notice it, you understand that episode 8 is about to change the direction of the entire season. Episode 8 shows a version of Tommy that feels quieter but far more dangerous than before. He is not rushing. He is not shouting. He is watching everyone closely, and that is what makes this moment scary. When Tommy slows down, it means he is done reacting and ready to control the game. The trailer makes it clear that he already knows something others do not, and he is waiting for the right time to use it. Tommy's body language in the trailer says more than any line of dialogue. He stands still while others move around him. He listens instead of speaking. His eyes stay locked on people who think they are safe. This tells us his next move is not emotional. It is planned. Episode 8 is not about Tommy losing control. It is about him choosing when to strike and who deserves it. One key detail is how Tommy is framed in the scenes. He is often shown alone or slightly separated from the group. This creates distance, both physical and emotional. That distance matters. It shows that Tommy is already stepping away from old partnerships and old rules. He is preparing himself to do what others cannot. Episode 8 feels like the moment where he accepts that trust is a weakness, not a strength. The trailer also hints that Tommy is under more pressure than ever. But he is no longer running from it. Instead of fighting everyone at once, he is letting his enemies expose themselves. Small conversations, quick looks, and unfinished sentences suggest that people around him are nervous. They sense a shift. They know Tommy is not the same man he was earlier in the season. He has learned, adapted, and hardened. Another important sign is what Tommy does not do in the trailer. He does not pull a gun. He does not threaten anyone openly. In this world, silence is often more powerful than violence. It means the decision has already been made. Episode 8 is about execution, not planning. The planning already happened off screen, and the trailer gives us just enough to feel it. There is also a feeling that Tommy is closing doors behind him. Choices in episode 8 seem final. The trailer suggests that once he moves forward, there is no going back to how things were. Alliances may survive, but they will never feel the same. Trust may continue, but it will be tested every second. Tommy understands that power comes with isolation, and he looks ready to accept that cost. What makes this version of Tommy so dangerous is that he is calm. Calm people in chaos are the ones who win. Episode 8 positions him as someone who has stopped hoping for a better outcome and started preparing for the worst one. That mindset changes everything. It means he is willing to lose things that once mattered to him if it helps him stay alive and in control. By the end of episode 8, It feels likely that people will look back and realize this was the moment. Tommy truly took command of his future, not through force alone, but through patience, awareness, and timing. The trailer does not show the move itself, only the calm before it. And in this story, that calm is far more terrifying than any gunshot. Episode 8 quietly places Diamond in a dangerous position. Even though the trailer never says it out loud, his scenes feel heavier, slower, and more uncomfortable than before. He is no longer standing with full confidence. Instead, he looks like a man carrying too many questions and not enough answers. This shift matters because Diamond has always been about balance. When that balance breaks, everything around him starts to fall apart. The trailer shows Diamond listening more than speaking, and that is a clear warning sign. In this world, silence often means doubt. Doubt means hesitation, and hesitation can get people killed. Episode 8 feels like the moment where Diamond realizes loyalty is no longer simple. It is no longer about brotherhood or shared goals. It is about survival, and survival forces people to choose sides even when they do not want to. There is a subtle tension in how Diamond and Tommy are shown together, even when they are not in the same frame. The editing cuts between them in a way that suggests distance. Not anger, not betrayal yet, but separation. They are no longer moving in sync. Their paths are starting to drift. And episode 8 may be the point where those paths finally split for good. Diamond's expressions in the trailer suggest inner conflict. He looks caught between past promises and present danger. The man he used to trust is still there, but the world around them has changed. The streets are louder, the enemies are smarter, and mistakes are no longer forgiven. Episode 8 pushes Diamond into a corner where staying loyal could cost him everything. But turning away could destroy what is left of his identity. Another important detail is who Diamond is seen talking to and who he avoids. The trailer shows him in spaces that feel closed off, almost trapped. These are not places where plans are made. They are places where decisions are weighed. That tells us Diamond is thinking ahead, not just reacting to what Tommy does next. He is trying to protect himself without becoming the villain in his own story. The way other characters look at Diamond also matters. Some seem uncertain. Others seem hopeful. A few seem suspicious. This mixed reaction suggests Diamond's position in the power structure is weakening. Not because he lacks strength, but because people no longer know where he stands. Episode 8 thrives on that uncertainty. When people stop trusting your loyalty, they start preparing for your fall. The trailer also hints that Diamond may be forced into a choice he has been avoiding all season. You can feel it in the pacing of his scenes. Each moment feels like it is leading toward a line he does not want to cross. Episode 8 may not show the full result of that choice, but it will show the moment he realizes there is no safe option left. What makes Diamond's situation so tragic is that he is not driven by greed or ego. He is driven by responsibility. That makes his decisions harder and his consequences heavier. Episode 8 is setting him up not as a villain or a hero, but as a man caught between two futures, both of them dangerous. By the end of episode 8, the cracks in Diamond's loyalty will no longer be invisible. People will sense the shift. Some will try to use it. Others will fear it. And Diamond will understand that once loyalty starts to crack, it never fully heals. It only waits for the right moment to break completely. Episode 8 does not announce its biggest threat with violence or loud moves. Instead, the trailer hides it in calm conversations, slow walks, and faces that no longer show fear. This is how real power changes hands. Not with explosions, but with silence and timing. Someone in episode 8 is no longer reacting to Tommy or Diamond. They are adjusting the board while everyone else is still playing the old game. One of the clearest signs of a power shift is who controls the pace of scenes in the trailer. Certain characters speak last, walk away first, or remain untouched when tension rises. That tells us they are no longer worried about consequences. Fear has moved to someone else. Episode 8 shows this through small choices, like who stands closest to the exit and who stays in the shadows. These details matter because they reveal who feels safe and who knows they are exposed. The trailer also shows a change in how information moves. Secrets are no longer shared openly. Conversations stop when someone enters the room. Eyes follow movements instead of trusting words. This tells us that someone is holding leverage. Even if we do not yet know what it is, episode 8 is about control. And control comes from knowing things others do not. Another important clue is the absence of chaos around certain characters, while others are tense, rushed, or aggressive. One presence feels steady. That steadiness is dangerous. It means they are prepared for whatever happens next. They are not hoping for a good outcome. They are planning for every outcome. Episode 8 uses this contrast to show us where the real power is shifting. The way the trailer frames these moments is very intentional. Characters who once felt dominant are now shown in tighter shots with less space around them. Meanwhile, the rising threat is shown in wider frames, calm lighting, and controlled movement. This visual language tells us who is gaining freedom and who is losing it. Episode 8 is about shrinking options, and the trailer makes sure we feel that pressure. What makes this power shift even more dangerous is that it happens without open conflict. No one calls it out, no one challenges it directly. That is how empires fall in this world. By the time people realize they have lost control, it is already too late. Episode 8 is setting up a situation where the wrong person is being underestimated, and that mistake will cost lives. The trailer also suggests that this power shift threatens not just Tommy's plans, but the entire structure around him, alliances built on fear or respect start to weaken when someone else controls the flow of information. Episode 8 hints that decisions are being made without Tommy in the room, and that alone is a major red flag. Power does not need permission, it only needs opportunity. There is also a sense that this rising force understands Tommy better than Tommy understands them. That knowledge creates imbalance. Episode 8 feels like the moment where the hunter realizes someone else has been watching him the whole time. The trailer never shows the confrontation, but it shows the awareness beginning to form. By the end of episode 8, the audience will likely look back at this trailer and realize the warning signs were always there. The calm, the silence, the lack of fear. The power shift was not sudden, it was patient. And in this world, patience is often deadlier than violence. Episode 8 carries a heavy feeling of finality, and the trailer quietly pushes that feeling through editing choices rather than obvious threats. Certain characters are shown lingering on screen just a little longer than usual. Their faces are framed in close shots, their movement slowed down, as if the story wants the audience to really remember them. In this universe, that kind of attention is never random. It often means someone is nearing the end of their road. One of the biggest danger signals is emotional exposure. Characters who normally stay guarded are suddenly more open, more reflective. They talk about the past, about mistakes, about things they wish they could change. This kind of reflection usually appears right before something irreversible happens. Episode 8 uses this emotional weight to prepare the audience for loss without ever showing a body. The trailer also hides betrayal in plain sight. Quick glances between characters replace direct conversations. Someone turns away at the wrong moment. Someone else stays quiet when they should speak up. These small actions signal broken trust. Episode 8 is not about loud backstabbing. It is about quiet decisions made alone, choices that protect one person while destroying another. Another red alert comes from who is suddenly alone. Characters who once moved in pairs or groups are now shown isolated. Isolation is dangerous in this world. It removes protection and creates opportunity. Episode 8 seems to separate people on purpose, placing them in situations where help is too far away to arrive in time. The trailer does not show the outcome, but the setup is clear. There is also a shift in how violence is teased instead of fast cuts and loud sounds. The trailer uses slow motion and silence before tense moments. This suggests that when violence comes, it will be sudden and shocking. Episode 8 feels like it is holding its breath, waiting for one decision to trigger everything at once. Betrayal signs also appear in loyalty tests that seem small but carry huge consequences. A delayed response, a message not passed along, a warning that comes too late. Episode 8 shows how betrayal does not always look like an enemy attack. Sometimes it looks like hesitation, sometimes it looks like fear, and sometimes it looks like survival. The trailer also plays with expectation by making certain characters look safe when they are not. A calm scene does not mean safety, a smile does not mean trust. Episode 8 challenges the audience to question every peaceful moment. Because peace in this world is often temporary. The calm before the storm is not comfort, it is a warning. Another important detail is how the trailer avoids showing consequences directly. We see reactions without knowing what caused them: shock, anger, grief. These emotional responses suggest that something devastating has happened just out of frame. Episode 8 may not show the full aftermath, but it will show the moment everything changes. By the time episode 8 arrives, the audience will be prepared for loss even if they do not know who will fall. The trailer plants death flags everywhere, but it never points directly at one person. That uncertainty is what makes it powerful. Anyone could be next, anyone could betray, and anyone could disappear in a single moment that changes the season forever.